Schoolwork, and I got all these. Thank you. You're welcome. You do it. Thank you, darling.
So wherever Wayne is right now, I'm sure he's laughing. He got me to come to his memorial on my actual birthday. Thanks, Wayne. That's all I gotta say. Thanks.
It's all your fault.
My name's James Ferrigno, and I'm in the wrong room, obviously. Now, I first met Wayne, and he gave me my first stage to do some improv. And I'm not sure what to say, but because I'm an improver, this should be easy. But it's not. Wayne was a guy that never quit. He got hit with just about everything that they could send at him. Cancer twice, diabetes, lactose intolerant, or amputated toes. He never gave up. And if he had made it through this, someday he would probably get roasted at the Friars Club, and he would love it. But you didn't get there, guy. But you're in our hearts. I think I'll always remember you for that first stage that you gave me, and I forgive you for shining a light. My time was up. I just didn't want to go. Just like you.
Hi. First time holding a mic. So Wayne got me into holding microphones. It's actually true. I just wanted to come up and just tell that it was about 8 years ago. I was doing a garage sale with my family, and my mother was friends with a comedian on Facebook, and I was a big fan of comedy. I feel like I'm still doing this film. How's that better? Again, Wayne's fault. So we were doing this garage sale, and this guy shows up, and my mother was like, "Oh, Dom, you love comedy. This is a comedian. His name's Wayne Felber." So I introduced myself, and he was very nice, and he told me he was about to start a room up in Port St. Lucie. He told me I should come out, and I was like, I always wanted to do this. I always wanted to try this, and I told him I would do it. So I got him on Facebook. I became friends, and for a few weeks, he's telling me, "All right, I'm starting on April 7th. You gonna be there?" I was like, "All right, maybe I'll be there the next week. You know, I'm still writing my stuff down." And he just flat out called me a pussy. We're allowed, right? Say that? Too late now. He called me a pussy, and I was like, "What?" You know, so I was like, "Fine, I'll come out and do it." So I went out to, it was called the Poorhouse, because, of course, it was in Port St. Lucie. It was exactly what you would expect it to be. And I was excited because I was like, my career is about to start. You know, I'm going to do this for the first time. I'm going to kill it. And he put me first on the list because, of course, and they turned, I remember, this was 8 years ago, so Let It Go from Frozen was on the jukebox at this dive bar with guys in cowboy hats and stuff. And he turned off the jukebox, and he walks up, and all I remember hearing, the first thing was, "Why did they turn the music off?" And I'm like, shit. And he goes up, and he says a couple of jokes, and he's like, "This is the first night ever of comedy, and your first performer ever. It's his first time ever, Dominic Nessie." And I walked up, and there wasn't even a stage. It was just like a soda machine that I was standing next to. Some guy bought a fucking Mountain Dew while I was in there. So. I just remember, I didn't know you could have notes, so I did like 10 minutes of a monologue that wasn't funny at all. It was one of the worst nights of my life. Until the next morning, I woke up and I was like, I gotta try that again. And then I went again, and I went again, and then I never really stopped. It's been 8 years, and I've met some of the best people I've ever met in my life, including Wayne. because of Wayne. And I'm here right now, I'm looking at Renee, I'm looking at Jordan, all because of Wayne. Like, if it wasn't for Wayne Felber, I wouldn't know any of you guys. He opened an entire new chapter for my life, and I thank him so much for it. I thank everybody who shared it with me. Thank you.
Okay, well, when I first met Wayne, I had just moved here in 2018, and I just started playing guitar and singing and getting into the open mic world, and Wayne used to run the open mic at the brew house, so that was I walked in and he was like, "Are you here for the open mic?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Cool, what are you gonna sing?" And I'm like, "I'm gonna sing out of James." And he goes, "You're gonna sing out of James?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am." And he goes, "Okay." And I go up there and proceeded to sing, get off stage, and he goes, "Wow, you're the most soulful white girl I've ever heard in my whole life." And he proceeded to call me white chocolate from then on. And now I get called that by random people because he tells them to. I get bought white chocolate bars all the time and given to me as tips for music. But ever since that day, sorry, I'm loud. I'm very loud. Right here. See, I was just instructing the other guy to do something else. Ma'am, where?
Right there. Don't move.
No, it's not working.
Just use your right.
I'm just gonna talk regular. You want to?
Look at you.
Long story short, Wayne helped me a lot in the music world, and I love him so much, and I'll never ever forget everything he's ever done for me. This works out a lot better. Maybe I'm too loud. As Wayne would say, "White chocolate, get off the stage." Okay, but I love and I'll miss him forever. But he's always gonna be with us. Thank you.
Let's see back.
It's hard. It's like watching it. People, you're like,
You need to go back behind this piece. Behind
We'll figure it out. Hold
behind
on.
this.
There we go. There we go. Yeah, I didn't even get on stage yet. They're already giving me the light. That's it. Get off. Feels familiar. I'll tell you guys this. Yeah, thank you, Dom. I'll tell you guys this. I met Wayne when I was 17 years old. March 24th, 2009. I've known Wayne since I started comedy, and I don't know Wayne after comedy. So this has been bothering me so much, but a special time that we got to share together, and I feel like a lot of Wayne's family would know, we went on the road for almost 2 months. Michigan, Wisconsin, and that was rough, totally rough. Wayne had the best sets. It's Midwestern. Wayne was great, just like, "Hey, what's up? We're getting tater tots. How do you guys feel?" And if you ever met Midwestern people, they like Wayne. Trust me, he was like all wholehearted, like awesome. I'm going up there with my young, nose ring, hit boy stuff. It was not working. Wayne, he stole their hearts. But I'll share something. I got lucky one night, and I wanted to bring a girl back to the hotel room. And me and Wayne were sharing a hotel room. And Wayne kept talking about how much he loved the pool. So the pool was heated, it was indoors. And I brought this girl back from the hotel room, and we walk in, and Wayne looks at me and he goes, "Hi, it's the Karate Kid, the first one with Ralph Macchio. Why don't you guys sit down and enjoy it?" So I'm looking at him like, "Why don't you get the fuck out of the room and go in the heated pool, you bitch?" At that point, things boil over. We have to call Sharon because that was our mommy on the trip. So Wayne calls Sharon, I call Sharon. Yes. I think the point that I'm getting at, not only was Wayne a brother to me, he was like a dad to me. So the next day, nothing happened with that girl, thank God. But Wayne's like, and then I sobered up and I realized what she looked like. And Wayne told me, he was like, "Hey man, I love you, brother, but you gotta watch out for these girls on the road. You're young, just stay away." But Wayne was always like a figure to me. I deal with anxiety. I'm shaking right now, I'm nervous, and it's sad that we're here celebrating Wayne, but Wayne was always my rock. not only with cancer and all that stuff. I never had cancer, but that's what he supports and stuff like that. Wayne helped talk me down with anxiety. If I had a panic attack, you can ask Sharon. I could call Wayne at 6 o'clock in the morning and Wayne would answer, "You're waking me and Monkey up. What are you doing? What do you need? I'm watching General Hospital comes on at 3 o'clock. I got a TiVo." He was just a hell of a guy, man, and I'm gonna miss him. And hey, everybody, salute to Wayne. Salute to Wayne.
Hello, everybody. Is Mrs. Felber here? She's here, and there she is. Mrs. Felber, Sharon, I gotta tell you, I was in love with your husband. Everybody, Wayne was a celebrity. Go anywhere in Palm Beach. You're Wayne Felber.
Yeah, I'm Wayne Felber. We're here to joke. I got a lot of jokes.
I'm an impressionist, so Wayne gave me permission to impersonate him. We're actually talking about this moment.
Yeah, you can impersonate me. I want the profits too.
I think Wayne was the most courageous, giving, big-hearted person, and the Lord just needed him up there to help up in the heavens. And their gain is our loss. Wayne, I just want to say I love you. There's so much I can say about Wayne. It would just take days to talk about his generosity, his big heart, how he helped children with cancer, how he put other people ahead of him. And just, Wayne and I shared a love for culinary. So I'll never forget when Wayne called me, the most beautiful wedding in the world. I'll never forget Wayne and Sharon's wedding. One of the most beautiful moments in life. They released hundreds of butterflies, and it was just beautiful. Hello, Mrs. Felber, and also Mrs. Felber. Yes, I want to thank you. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank you for bringing Wayne into this world. Because thank you it was a privilege. I met Wayne back in 2005. He was doing a set. And I said, "Wayne, you did great." And he goes, "Thank you very much." Thank you very much. But I'll never forget Wayne, our love for the culinary. He goes, "We're getting married." I said, "That's great, Wayne, that's great." "Oh, she's great, but guess what?" I said, "What?" "I got a taco bar at my wedding." Thank you all very much for letting me share my moments with Wayne. Wayne, I love you. You'll never be forgotten, I promise.
Hi, I'm Kathy, only known really by you as Wayne's mom. And a lot of people were thanking me for having him, and you don't know how true that is. I was a single mom. And in my last year of nursing school. And I told him today, I never regretted that decision ever. And Fred and I got married when he was 3, and Fred adopted Wayne, and we truly have been a family over the years. He wrote a poem, which we were so impressed that he was writing poetry. This is a kid who did not really do well in school. He dreamt. Oh, Mrs. Felber, he's just dreaming. He's not doing his work. He's making jokes. And that's the stuff that everybody loves about now. So it was kind of funny. I'm like, boy, if we only knew then, what we know now. But you know, Wayne and Sharon have always had the biggest heart, to a point where it really it affects the way you behave as well as what happens on the other end of their generosity. Because for Fred and myself, we were so humbled by their constant giving of themselves the most, even more than the resources, to give back what had come to them, so Wayne could have that first chemo and live through the process. And as a result, they just started Team Felber, but before it was incorporated. They just did Team Felber. When somebody had a need, both of them sat down, tried to figure out how that need could be met. And Wayne was very good at raising money. Even when he was a kid, you know, he could get people to do things for him in a way they were so grateful that he let them do it. And he was the same way. And so one of the biggest goals that Wayne and Sharon had was getting Team Felber in to be an official 501c3 charity, and they accomplished that last year. And if anybody is looking, thank you. That was all them. That they got, but that was a dream. The other dream is going to affect everyone in this room, because the reality is it's going to take a community to take his place in helping and caring for the people out there that need the help. Sharon can't do it alone, and they've done several comedy shows over at different places to raise money, and that's going to take a community to help with that and help them make decisions and move forward in this, because Wayne's vision was to have this to be a big charity, a well-known charity, not for the sake of, oh, look at Wayne and Sharon, but that they would have the resources and the philanthropic resources to give more. I mean, when you talk to him, he was really good at the lottery. I don't know what he did. He had a system of winning. The scratch up. Well, the ones he gave us for Christmas, forget it. We didn't get a thing, but it's okay. But they did, and the reason he wanted to win the lottery was so that they could do more. It wasn't, well, and pay a few bills maybe, but you know, that always comes into it for most people. But to do more. And one of the things as we faced, first of all, we were grateful for 50 years. It wasn't enough, but it was more than we thought we had. So, you know, very few people knew how bad his heart was. And so, you know, we would just say, oh, thank God he's made it to 46, 47, 48, 50. And 50, what they did? They did a fundraiser, a comedy fundraiser. And that's both of them. Both Sharon and Wayne were engaged in giving constantly. So thank you for giving back just some love to him. We are so touched by people, how many people love our son. And that makes, boy, there's nothing better than being a mama of someone of that caliber, and a father. I mean, Fred and I sat down and we were just over and over again blessed by all the things that we knew and all the things we didn't know, that the continued giving. So thank you for being his friends, thank you for being his community, and thank you for picking up the mantle and moving forward with Team Felber, because the vision will come. The vision will come. So, you're not going to talk, are you? No, you can talk. Oh, yeah, does she have it? Okay, all right. Sharon's going to read one of your poems. Anybody else want to come up and talk? I'm good. Oh, good. Come on, thanks.
So, I met Wayne really through A.J. Brockman in the Kelsey Theater. I mean, nobody really knows it, but Wayne and Sharon were like the backbone of the Kelsey Theater in Lake Park. They were everything to that theater. When you walked in the door, you always saw Sharon and Wayne. And I got involved in the Kelsey Theater, and I started attending shows, and who did I see all the time was Sharon and Wayne. And they would just open their hearts and open their arms and always made you feel welcomed, and everything about them, again, was giving and loving. And as the years went by, I took care of their cats. I don't know if anybody knew that he loved cats. And he always felt like he had this special affinity, especially to one, Monkey. And I helped them. I met them on weekends sometimes with their cats, and they love their cats, and they loved helping other people with their animals. They would call me and say they had a friend that needed help, and so we helped them with other people. They were always trying to help other people. And when my husband passed away at a young age too, at only 55, of course Sharon and Wayne were right there beside me, helping me through. So I told Sharon the other day, Wayne had to go make Michael laugh, because he always made him laugh any other time. We went to see Wayne a few times at his fundraisers and at the Improv, matter of fact, one night when he was helping other comedians get into the show business. And that was one thing about Wayne. He wanted everybody to be involved in everything. If you thought you were unsure of yourself, or you felt like you were shy, he would just say, come along, you can do comedy, come on, you could do this. And he and Sharon just helped so many people and gave them confidence. And I know they helped a lot of people through their fundraising for the hospitals when other people can't pay their bills. You know, it's a lot of cost. Even if you have insurance, co-payments and medications become very expensive. And I don't know if you know what his team Felber does, but it gives money back to those who can't afford some of these other costs that deal with their battling cancer and other life illnesses. So here's to Wayne. I love you, Wayne, and I hope you're up there making Michael laugh and everybody else I know laugh, because he always made me laugh, and he was a great human. And I love you and Sharon. Thank you.
I guess everybody's talked so much about all of Wayne's attributes, and oh my God, man, he brought us all together, you know? You gotta love, honest to God, your son just brought so much, you felt love when you were around Wayne. One of my earliest, I guess, memories of Wayne when I met him was at a club up in Port St. Lucie called a room called Mickey Finn's. And I asked him, you know, what are you doing? He was on obscenity patrol, okay? There was Mike Tapcars here. He was on F-bomb patrol, okay? And he was actually counting how many F-bombs were being, only Wayne could do that. And then so there was, the F-bomb was exceeded, the limit was exceeded, so we had to call the comic into question. And then later on, the same gentleman showed up at the brew house, Wayne's room down in Lake Park, and Wayne just said, no, we cannot have this. I'll always remember that about him, because whenever I saw him, we joked about that. We joked about the crazy selfies he would take in the hospital bed. You know, we all saw those things, and you're going nuts, and you know, he's got the hose going on. I'd say, hey, big sexy, you look good. He'd say, yeah, thinking about you, he never wanted me more, and all this stuff, but I love him, and I miss him terribly, and I'm blessed to know you and everybody, and Sharon, and God bless you guys. I just wanted to let you guys know that. I love you dearly.
case ever. I don't know how many times I dropped my phone, and still it works. It's good shape, good shape. So, oh my gosh, everybody, thank you for all these wonderful stories. We are running a little bit of time here, so the doors have opened next door at the Improv. We've got a couple more things before we go. If anybody didn't have a chance to speak and you want to do so later, there'll be an opportunity after the show to tell more stories, and maybe after a couple drinks, a few more people might be a little more braver to go up and tell some stories, and would love to hear them all, because I know there's not a limit to the Wayne stories that are out there. I can tell you a few. So as Wayne's mama was saying that, Wayne, a lot of you didn't know, I mean, you probably saw on Facebook, he was writing poems, and writing, of course, for a comedian, he was doing that all the time, and then branched into the poems was really a therapy, because of course everybody has followed his journey, ups and downs over the years. So he wrote one. Luckily, finally, I kept telling him, you need to email these to yourself or do something, put them in a file. I need to have them somewhere. And he finally did it. So I happened to find over 50 poems in his email. So, and a lot of them, some he hadn't even posted. And I have one I want to share with you guys tonight, because I think it really embodies a lot of Wayne and his life and how he wants to be remembered. Untitled poem by Wayne Felber. When I die, some will say his life was filled with tragedy. But when you speak my final eulogy, may you remember my life filled with victory. When you write my final biography, remember to say I lived in peace. As you spread my ashes and speak of my demise, just remember my ashes always rise, and the triumph over adversity is how I lived my lives. Don't forget, no matter what's thrown at me, I'm always fighting and always free. And when I do take my final breath, it will be to say, this is only death. And as my body blends with the dirt, I'll still be with you through all your hurt. Yes, there's been loss and pain, but don't be too blind to see that through it all, not as much as there's been victory. Yay. Who knew? Who knew this guy had that in it? Who knew? But, we did triumph all over the hard. There were the hard times, but it was because of the love in this room and the support that we have from our community and our love for each other that got us through all that. And I cannot thank you enough. And thank you so much for helping keeping Wayne's memory alive and keeping Team Felber. You just have no idea how important it is, and I'll share many stories with you if we want. I'd be remiss if I didn't take plug teamfelber.org. Wayne would not be happy if I didn't do that, so check it out, teamfelber.org. We'll be having some stories and stuff on there. So please follow us and just spread the news. And if you know anybody in a medical crisis, tell them to contact us. Contact us. We'll do whatever we can for them. That's what we're here for. So, on that note, thank you everybody for being here. The band is going to start any minute now, so we got to get some music going. That was another big love of Wayne's life, so looking forward to some great music tonight. I apologize I didn't look at the band's name, or I give them a shout out.
Leafy Greens.
Leafy Greens! Oh yeah, I know you guys. Hey, oh good stuff. Yeah, okay. But so doors open at the Improv. Hang out here and listen to some music, and then head next door. The show will start at 8 o'clock. So love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Every single one of you. I love you and so appreciative of everything. Thank you. We'll see you next door.